Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing fantastic and had an awesome Thanksgiving weekend. I am here with the lovely Mimi Thrasher. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's so exciting to be here right after the long weekend.
Totally. So, Mimi, I'm like super excited. Not only are we doing the Toronto Women's Expo membership program together, but you are an awesome support person for people in business. And I want to hear all about that because really people need to know. And I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there or businesses out there that are looking for support people that can help them personally and professionally in their businesses. And you are just, you're above and beyond the typical person that can just, do their phone calls for them or answer the phones or that kind of stuff. You do so much more. You have so much more insight and experience that you bring to the table. And you actually act as a partner with people in business rather than just, working for them and doing mediocre tasks. So I want to get into that and what you do for them. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk a little bit about what I do, because who I am and the value I bring, I can't put on a resume or on a website anywhere. It's something that requires explanation.
Absolutely.
So first of all, the blanket thing is that I'm a personal or executive assistant for entrepreneurs that are busy, overwhelmed, or pivoting their businesses. And my strength is in the administrative area. I love administration work. I'm good at it. I can do the back end of like a whole variety of things, from challenges to summits to building websites to all kinds of stuff. But that value that I bring lies in the fact that I've been an entrepreneur for about 7 years, and also that I used to train people into team management and leadership for an international training and development company. So if the client wants me to, I can coach and or partner them with getting past barriers, as an example, or issues having to deal with business processes, because I've been a business person so long for myself. I'm trying to think off the top of my head of a good example, but if I read a book or I've watched a YouTube video or something like that, you might hear me say, hey, have you thought about that? Did you do this? Have you read this? I just saw this YouTube video. We should try this. And I use the word we because even though my client is out there doing what they love to do and I'm doing the administration, it takes at least those two people to cause a successful business that has you not be an employee in your own business. It takes a team.
Absolutely. And I think, I like the team part of it because, like I said before, it's not like, okay, I'm just going to hire Mimi and she's going to do my paperwork, or she's going to do, my website, or she's going to work on, my CRM or whatever it is. No, there's so much more. You bring ideas to the table, you bring suggestions to the table, so I think that the person out there, and you can add to this, but I think the person out there that might be looking for someone like you is looking for more than just someone to do the tasks. I think they're looking at you to be more involved, to give suggestions. You have brilliant suggestions. You have a lot of experience with working with businesses, working on businesses of your own, and being able to come to the table with more of a discussion, more of a support in if that entrepreneur wants to actually discuss things in their business, they're not sure. Maybe they need a new idea, or they need some direction, or they need more of like a coaching or a mentoring type of thing. If they're looking for someone to work with and not just have work for, um, then I would think that you are the perfect option for that, because you add so much more value. And not to, you know, demean the value of having somebody do the work. That's
Right.
not what I'm saying at all. But you bring more value to it than just that huge value, because you're able to actually give some really valuable, you know, ways of doing things, ideas, some creativity there, maybe some things they hadn't have thought of, or experienced themselves, or programs they didn't know about. So I think you add a lot more to that. So please get into that part a little bit.
Okay. So first of all, I don't call myself a coach. Maybe I err on mentoring. And it definitely is a partnership. I can remember in my first few years of entrepreneurship wishing, first of all, wishing that I could duplicate myself, and also wishing that I had somebody that cared as much about my business as I do.
Mm.
And that's one of the things that I bring. I care about your business as much as you do, because it's in my best interest to have you succeed. Not because you're paying me, but because when you succeed, you have peace in your heart.
Yeah.
And you have an element of peace of mind when things are in momentum and they're rolling in the way that you want them to. And my life purpose happens to be peace on the planet. And in my journey for that, I've discovered that when people have inner peace, the world has outer peace. So if I can support an entrepreneur in having inner peace, I've fulfilled on my passion.
I love that.
Um, did that answer the question? Because you said a lot there, and I don't know if I answered everything inside of what you said.
Well, I just wanted to get into more of, like, what do you actually do? And you did, but, you know, what do you actually, like, maybe we'll ask this question. What is happening with the entrepreneur out there, or the business out there, or the organization, or whoever it is? What is happening with them where they would be the ones that should be reaching out to you?
Okay, so there's a couple of groups of people. One of them is going to be the entrepreneur that's pivoting their business, and and they could be overwhelmed, or there's just a lot of things to do, and they wish they had more time in their day, and they don't know if they're going in the right direction, and another person to bounce something off at, and to have that person execute would be something that would make a difference for them. That's one group of people. The other group of people I'm going to say are older professionals, call it in the 50 plus area, 50 to 70 people, also needing to pivot out of what they've been doing up until then, until now. And part of that includes the pivot that we're going through at this time of life. And they might not be digitally savvy. They might need support on social media, or they don't know how to build a website. They didn't grow up with computers. Those are also the kind of people that should reach out to me. I have one client, Margaret, who I love. She's in her 60s, and she's young. She's a young 60. Wouldn't never know that she was in her 60s, but she's doesn't have any digital. Let me rephrase. I shouldn't say none, but very little digital online experience. And I support her with a lot of the digital kind of stuff, whether it's Kindle for her book, or her website, or hiring a marketing person. Doesn't really matter. I have her being fulfilled and purposeful in her life and supporting her dream.
That's what it's all about, right? Like, we
Yeah.
can't be strong and we can't be great at everything. And even if we are great at everything, we can't possibly do everything alone. We always need support. We need people to work with, or to have help us. We can't grow without having people take on tasks so that we can work on the other tasks that will help grow our business, or have that person as the person who's helping us to grow our business. So, it really takes a village, and a good start is to add one more person to start. And
And a lot of times when people hear add one more person, they think, oh my God, I can't afford to take on one more person. But with me, you get me a number of hours a week. So no less than 5 to 10 hours a week to support you in doing what you need to do. The awesome thing about that also is that I generally only charge for the work that I do. So if you need me to do a website, or you need me to do, whatever backend stuff or the administrative stuff, I don't really charge for the mentoring part of it. That's just who I am inside of our relationship, should you desire that. So you're really getting a lot of value for what I provide. And it depends on the person. Sometimes I charge by the hour, and sometimes I charge by the month, and it's a retainer fee, and sometimes it's a project fee. So I'm very flexible. I'm really very flexible.
Yeah, and you can individualize that depending on who you're working with and
Yes.
whatnot. It doesn't have to be set in stone. So I think it's really important to at least open up the conversation and have the conversation. Like, if you're not sure if this is something that you need, you can just call Mimi up, set a time to chat with her, and see, where does it go? What kind of support could you have? Is this a match for you? So just like, you can feel it out and see if this is something that would add to the success of your business and help you achieve the goals that you want to achieve. So, having someone like Mimi who can do a little bit more and give a little more input is, a lot of entrepreneurs, they're doing it by themselves. They don't have anybody to like bounce stuff off or to bounce ideas off, and I'm not saying, ask somebody else and then go with their response, but it's great to be able to have an open discussion about it, because sometimes when you're talking to yourself about it, you don't come up with these other objectives or ideas, or, being a devil's advocate sometimes, or, just thinking, would this work? Would this not work? Should I tweak it, or this didn't work? Is there something I can do? And sometimes just having the open discussion could make yourself think about other things, but also the other person that you're speaking with can say, hey, well, have you tried this? And they're like, oh, I didn't even think of that, right? So you never know what those open discussions are going to bring up. And it's great to have somebody to bounce that kind of stuff or have those conversations with. And, when you're hiring someone to just do administrative work, they might not necessarily be the person that you are going to have those discussions with, or they may not have the experience that you can have those discussions with. So somebody like Mimi, who has personal experience, who has a lot of business experience, who has a lot of ideas, who will go and do the research, who will, really dive in deep and work with you and make sure that it's successful. It's very valuable to have somebody on your side like that can help you really take off with the business and go forward. So my suggestion is, if you're even thinking, considering, or you're kind of stuck in your business, reach out, just have an opening conversation. There's no obligation, of course, but just have the conversation and see if this is the right fit for you. And if Mimi would be the person that could support you in what you're looking for. But Mimi, why did you get into this? Like, obviously this isn't something you always did, and you have a few years of experience behind you. So not as many as me. I'm trying to like play on the age thing here, but just having fun with that. But, you have a lot of experience, but clearly you didn't always do this. So tell us a little bit about, why do you do this? What led you here?
That's interesting because I spent most of my work life, the majority of my work life, in the financial field. So I was an accounting clerk, or I was working in an accounting firm, or whatever surrounded by it. I have a family filled with accountants. So I majored in math in university. So I was always very numbers generated. My man always jokes with me and says, stop counting, stop counting. Apparently I count things. And I don't even notice that I do that. When I got into personal development, I discovered who I was as somebody that can be a contribution to others. And with my passion of wanting to create peace on the planet, peace on the planet is a huge game, and I had no clue how I was going to do it. I knew that I was put on this earth to impact it, but I didn't know how I was going to do it. And took the skills that I had at that time, which happened to be administrative skills, and said, okay, well, how can I take these to support business people or support people in having a peace in their heart. And that's when I decided to start working with people one-on-one, because if I was impacting people one-on-one, then I'm making a difference. Right. It's not making no difference, it's making a difference. And so that's pretty much how I started. I've always had, in the realm of 3 or 4 clients at one time. In the past, over the summer and towards the end of September, I had a couple less because I was hosting the first Peace Pulse of Humanity World Conference.
Congrats.
Woo-hoo. Yeah, it was like exciting to impact way more people at one time. And when it finished, I found that I missed working with clients and I wanted to take that on again. Just so rewarding to uplift people to be the best that they can be. And, I have 2 goals when I work with a client. One is I accept them for everything that they are and everything that they're not. And the second one is I will love them until it hurts. And so if you're willing to take on that, I'm going to love you till it hurts, reach out to me. You could reach out to me even if you want to find out what somebody like me would do. And I would suggest that you make a list. Make a list of all the things you like to do in your business and all the things you don't like to do in your business. When you make that list of things that you like to do in your business, all the things you don't like to do are going to show up. So put them on that list, but continue to work on the like. The same thing is going to happen when you're working on the don't like list. When you're working on the don't like list, all the things you like are going to show up, put them on that list. And then when you have those lists, you'll get a clear picture of, yeah, if I could only be working on just those things, that would be awesome. And then we can talk about how to work around the things that you don't like to do. Whether I do them or I hire somebody to do them for you, or there's so many opportunities and so many other ways to do it. Mm-hmm. Get clear for yourself on what it is that you would want an assistant to do, other than the fact that you need more time in your life, because right. You need to know what that division is going to be.
I love that, Mimi. That's a great suggestion. And yeah, definitely. That's like, I love that, what I like, what I don't like, and then have a conversation with Mimi and see how she can support you with those things that you don't like to do. And, and how you can take your business to the next level. So thank you. That's awesome. I love that.
You're welcome.
Okay. So how do people reach you? How should they get in touch with you?
So the best way to reach me is by email. So it's Mimi at mimithrasher.com is the best way to do that. You can go to my website, mimithrasher.com. You will find a little bit, it'll take you to a page where you get to see some links for my social media. And in the top right corner, it says more about Mimi. Click on that. You'll see all the deliverables, testimonials, things I can do, like the hard copy stuff. So that's one way. If you're really, 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 really serious about this, you should text me, because I answer text very fast. And this is the only place we're putting my phone number. So grab your pencil, 416-388-3450. Now, I should tell you, at this particular point in time that we're doing this live, I have 2 spots available for entrepreneurs that are serious about getting support. That doesn't mean if you see this video 3 months from now or 4 months from now, I don't have a spot. It just means that right now I have spots for 2 fantastic heart-centered people that want peace in their life and want to go forward.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you for everything that you do for humanity, for peace, for entrepreneurs, for businesses, for people. Thank you, Mimi.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this conversation. Much appreciated.
My pleasure. And please reach out to Mimi. You have her contact. We have her website. And of course, you can go to Messenger directly. If you can't find Mimi, you can message me or put a message in this post. And Mimi will definitely reach out to you. So thank you again, Mimi, for sharing. And I look forward to hearing all the amazing people that want to work with you.